And in our time here together, my mission is to help you understand how divinely created you are, and to help you understand that there may be things blocking you from that next level of success. So if you're ready to break through, say yes. What about over here? Are you guys awake? Yeah, let's go. Take a seat. Isn't Lauren amazing? Let's give it up for that queen. Have you ever thought, what makes someone successful? What makes you attracted to someone? What makes you lean in when someone's speaking? What makes you click that follow button on social media? Or better yet, unfollow. Nobody likes that. What is it? What is that thing that people have, that magnetism? What is it? Let's take a look at these examples. Duck Dynasty, who knows these guys? What is it about them that made them have a massively successful show? It's because they stayed true to who they were, their family values. There's a little too much faith talk. People in the network were like, I don't know, I think you should edit this. And they said, no, this is who we are. And we're keeping the beard too. Yeah? Oprah. Who loves Oprah? This woman gets molested when she's a young girl, has so much pain and trauma, but she decided to lean in and to serve in such a big way that now she's a household name. Princess Di. The late Princess Di. I'll never forget when she passed away. I was just a little girl, and I was at a family picnic, and everybody stopped what they were doing, and everybody sat around the TV, and my mother was weeping, and I was like, Mom, what's up? Like, I don't understand. Why are you so sad? And my mom looked over to me and said, because she was real. She was the people's princess, and she was real, and the world craves real. What about this guy? Yeah? Did you know that Steve Harvey used to get in trouble in school? Because why? He was telling jokes all the time. And what did he end up doing with his life? Telling jokes. Leaning in to what makes him truly unique. And so what's the commonality of all these people? They're keeping it real, and they are deeply rooted in owning who they are, their strengths, and even knowing their weaknesses. And in our time here together, my mission is to help you understand how divinely created you are, and to help you understand that there may be things blocking you from that next level of success. So if you're ready to break through, say yes. You see, for me, it hasn't always been this easy. I haven't always been this polished. When I got into entrepreneurship and I started my first business at the age of 23, I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor in a small town in Minnesota, and I got into a business where they said, there's no limits. You can build this thing as big as you want to. And I'm like, no limits? I come from a single mom and a lot of childhood trauma, and I never went to college, but you're telling me there's no limits for this girl? Game on, game on, game on. I will change the game. I will change the game. And I went to work, my friends, and what I did is I committed. What's the word? Committed to myself and my growth. I didn't buy anything for a few years other than personal development books. I got myself an old desk, I made a vision board, and I started to learn sales. Woo! It's not that easy. I started making the calls, and I'm like, no. They're saying no. They're saying no. I'm like, okay, they just say go for no. So I'm just going, and I'm like, okay, people are not numbers, but it is a numbers game. Okay, and I just keep going and going and going. And I remember being 23, going to conferences such as this, and I would see people on stage, and I was like, I don't know, I can't be like them. I don't really want to dress like them either. And I was like, this isn't my flavor. I can't really figure it out. And I tell you what, it wasn't until I figured out that you're never going to outperform your own self-image. Meaning, you can model after other people, and that's great, but don't try to be someone that you will never, ever be. You feel me on that? Yeah, that's exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. There is two fundamental truths that I have come here to share with you today. And you need to be reminded of this. And this may seem so elementary, but we walk outside these doors and we forget in a second that you were knitted together in your mama's belly, and there is only one you. There's only one you. So how quickly do we go online, or how quickly do we get in business and we just start to compare ourselves, and it's this shitstorm roller coaster, and all of a sudden you're lowering your frequency and you wonder why you're not a magnet for people. You wonder why you feel crappy when you lay your head on your pillow at night, and it's because you have forgotten how uniquely created and divine that you are, my friends. So lean in to this understanding. Your cellular makeup is the only one of your kind. Boom. That should get you pumped. And what else you need to know is that nothing has happened to you or has ever happened to you as God so perfectly designed it. So no victims here. No victims here. No victims here. No victims here. We're going to all go through things. We're going to all go through crap. All of us in this room, raise your hand if you've gone through some things. If you've got a story to tell, look around. Look around. It's not happening to you, but it's happening for you. Yes. So why? Why are you trying to fit in when you're born to stand out? Why? Why are you trying to be like the others? The world is looking for bold leaders. Bold leaders. Bold leaders. I'll say it again. Bold leaders that can serve them, that they trust to give their money to with a service that can help their lives. But if you're trying to fit in and be like the masses, you're never going to step into the call that has been on your life. Can I get an amen? So what do you do? What do you do every day to live this high frequency life? To live just knowing how BA you are, knowing how unique you are. What do you do every day to fortify that mindset? Because we know we are in sales, and sometimes it can be awesome, and other times it can suck, and other times you want to evaporate, right? It's just the truth. I've been in it for 15 years. I get it. But I started to really learn early on, if I want to create the life of my dreams, I got to every day you be. Every day you be. And what does this mean? Every single day, you got to unleash, baby. You got to unleash. And what does that even look like? How do you unleash? One of the best ways to unleash is through activity. It's making that call that could change it all. It's going to those networking events. It's going and putting yourself out there where you could find a client that's going to find a client that's going to find a client that's going to find a whole bunch of other clients, right? That is what is required to unleash. And one of my secrets to success and how I hit a 7-figure income by the time I was 26 years old is unleashing myself for every day and keeping the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing, and this is where you build confidence. You want some more confidence? Yeah. Do you want some more confidence? Yeah. So you got to unleash. Do the hard things first. The activity that you are avoiding is the secret to setting your family free. Do it first. Do it first. Do it first. And then you build, baby. You build yourself. Men and women in here, we got to build ourselves up. And that is the power of the great I am. And what does that mean? I am bold. I am beautiful. I am a badass. I am a child of God. I am a millionaire. You know what? When I first started my first business and I wanted to break the cycle of what? Money doesn't grow on trees, Emily. Why is your head in the clouds? Who do you think you are? You should go to school. All the suck, all the low energy stuff. I had to build myself because every single day people are trying to knock you down. Do you understand that? Every single day. Turn on the freaking news. Knock you down. Make you feel less than. Women, make you feel not good enough. Men, make you feel not like a good enough provider. Every single day. So you have to go to work on your mental fortitude. You have to build yourself up. Build yourself up. And then you got to express yourself, baby. Express yourself. Stop hiding your emotions. And no, I don't mean go be this emotional drama. No. Share your heart. Share your heart. Vulnerability is a secret weapon, especially in your business. If you show me a little bit of your scars, I'm going to show you a little bit of mine. And I'm going to want to do business with you. But if you think you're perfect and you act perfect and you're a used car salesman vibe, I'm going to run for the hills. You see, when every day you be and you practice this is what makes you a magnet. Who would like that? What if I told you, though, it's not good enough just to change habits? It's not, I'm sorry. It's great to change habits. And in the personal development industry, you read any book, it talks a lot about habit changes. What's my morning routine? What's my night routine? What's my KPIs? What's my number? I love all this. But the truth is, it's not good enough. Because there is thoughts and patterns that have been set in your mind since you were little. Maybe it's something that happened to you when you were a little boy, little girl. Maybe your dad left. Maybe your mom left. Maybe someone told you something in school, like you weren't smart enough. And what starts to happen is these things show up in our lives, and they take over. And I call this, my friends, a stronghold. It's a stronghold. And what happens is you believe it to be true. I have anxiety. I have a problem with eating. I've always just been this way. I'm this, I'm that. And it's a habitual pattern that we believe to be true. And it's rooted. It's deeply rooted inside of you. And most people just live their life like this. They try to change the habits. They try to put some Band-Aids on it, but they never get to the root issue. So this shows up. Negative self-talk. For some of us, we talk ourselves out of opportunity. A client comes, it's a big fish, but you're like, I'm not going to be able to serve that person to my level. So I'm just going to back off, right? Is anyone willing to admit they do these things? Emotional strongholds, anxiety, stress. You can't sleep at night. Your cortisol levels are crazy. Social media addiction. All these things, what they do, my friend, what they do is they take over your life. It dominates your life. And this is called a stronghold. And to help me elaborate a little deeper on this, I'm going to take you back to me being a little girl. Yeah, this is me in Minnesota, a hot August day. And I was raised by a single mom, like I shared, and we didn't have a lot. There was times we were on food stamps, and it was a struggle. But everything we did have, we took really good care of. That's how I was raised. And never forget it, my mom loves gardening. And I think it's just her escapism. And she would garden any bit of leftovers, like she would garden. And I was with her on this hot August day, and I remember she just started weeding. And she's going at it. And she's like, this is like her release. She works multiple jobs. This is like her one time, and she loves it. And I remember she started to pull this weed out, but it looked so pretty. And I was like, what are you doing, Mom? I'm like, Mom, no, this is a flower. What are you doing? And she said, no, Emmy. She said, sometimes weeds look like flowers. Sometimes weeds look like flowers. Sometimes weeds look like flowers. And if we're not careful, Emily, this one little weed will take over the whole bed, and it will kill and destroy it. Sometimes weeds look like flowers. They disguise themselves. And in our lives, sometimes these little weeds, they have taken over you from having a blessed marriage, from having an abundant business, from being self-expressed. They show up in all different forms. They do. So we got to kill the weeds, and we got to go to the root of the issue. Because like I said, you can't combat lies with changed behavior alone. I wish I could tell you just do a morning routine, take an ice bath like me, do a sauna, do the contrast therapy, you're going to be hot to trot, let's go. No, that ain't it. You must change your beliefs, and your changed behavior flows from that. So how do we change our belief system? Well, every day you go to work on that, and it takes a tremendous amount of discipline, but it does to be great and to be a life changer and to be free. I'll just tell you that. But what I do and what I recommend that you do is weed and feed, baby. And so what does this look like? We weed the garbage. You weed that BS that is lying to you. Anything that is not of God, it's a lie. It's wanting you, thank you. It's wanting you to feel this big. It's wanting to take over your life. It's wanting to put these things in your mind that is trying to steal your joy. You are meant to live in joy. And you're already good enough, by the way. It's not based on how much money you make. That's a good thing when we make a lot of money because we can amplify that and put that back out into the marketplace. Amen. Okay, but it's not your identity. You're already good enough. So what do we need to do? My life, I'm telling you, my life went bananas crazy happinessville.com when I started to weed and feed. So every day I weed the garbage, and what this requires, my friends, is to get quiet. I know. Who has 10 minutes? If you don't have 10 minutes, you don't have a life. You don't. 10 minutes. Get up earlier if you're running the house. 10 minutes a day. I read the bestseller. It's this book. It's really good. It's a bestseller. It's filled with wisdom, filled with scripture. You do you, boo. That's what I do. I get fed. I get fed the truth. And this makes me invincible. And this gives me confidence, okay? And this gives me wisdom. Yes. So I read that. And then I pray. Pray, meditate. Listen. It's already in you. Everything you need is already in you. It is. You just have to access it. It's there. So quiet. Meditate, receive, pray, ask. Ask to be healed. Ask to be set free. Ask. And then praise. And what's praise? It looks different to all of us. But what praise is living in a state of gratitude. And I'll tell you, my friends, when I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor, but I had hope because I found a compensation plan and I found a business that I knew that I could just dive into and crush it, I would thank God for my pillow, and I would thank God for this opportunity, even though I didn't have nice things, and I drove a purple Saturn, go Vikings, like I could hardly afford snow tires, but the truth is, one of my mentors said to me, why do you think that your creator is going to give you more if you can't be grateful for what you already have? Like, what is that? So I weed and feed. I'm feeding myself. I'm feeding my mind. I'm nourishing my soul. And again, you might be thinking, Emily, this is a business conference. Yeah, but guess what? When you live this way, you live at a frequency, and people don't know why you're so cool. People don't know why they're so attracted to you. People don't know what you have. People don't know what you're selling. They don't even know. They're just like, I want it. How would you like to be that way? That's what's up. So you weed and you feed, and you get going. But there's a whole nother side of it when it comes to building something great. Who wants to build something great? Yeah. You see, I love passion. I'm clearly a very passionate person. Cody is a very passionate man, right? Would you not agree? Yeah. Lauren's passionate. Everyone, passion's great, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I'm sorry, it's not enough. You got to have zeal. And every Instagram post, every other, like, passion, be passionate, do what you're passionate about. If I lived my life on passion alone, I wouldn't be engaged, because I don't like him when he leaves the toilet seat up. Okay? Let's just be real. And when I started my business and I made no money the first year, and I was like, dude, I want this more than all these cats in here. I am more motivated than everybody, but I wasn't seeing the ROI. I quickly learned that passion alone will only get me so far. I got to have zeal. And what does it mean to live a life filled with zeal? It means you are devoted. You are committed. No matter what, you're going to stay in it. And to help me elaborate on this, I broke it down into the 3Ds, baby. So get ready to write this down because this is the secret. And some of you need to teach your children this in this microwave society that we're living in, okay? What happens? You get into the business, you get an opportunity, and you're delighted. It's like, this is fun. I got my business cards. I got my suits. I got it all figured out. It is like, this is the vision. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to do. I am ready. And you're just fired up. Or we could even look at this in love. You meet someone. Oh my God, they texted me. It's like you get the, oh my God, right? They're, oh my gosh, you're going on a date. You're pitting out a little bit. You're like, oh my gosh, right? You're delighted. It's hot and heavy. It's steamy. It's the best. You get committed, though. And guess what? There's some difficulty. Is there not some difficulty? Yeah. Something happens in the business. Something folds. Somebody quits. Someone steals. Your mind gets out of sorts. It gets difficult. It's a test. But no, I live with zeal. I don't live on passion alone. I'm devoted, which is the third stage, and you want to live devoted. So even though my fiance might not put the toilet paper roll back on the toilet paper, and I'm like, well, the correct way or even at all. And I'm like, all we got to do, baby, all we got to do is walk to the cabinet and we just put it on. I'm still devoted to him. And that's a light example, but you get what I mean. And when I wanted my life to change, and I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to design my days, and I wanted to live in leadership, and I wanted so bad. I wanted just to be able to go to Whole Foods and not worry about how much organic groceries cost. And I wanted to be able to give back to my mother who busted her butt for me as a child and my siblings. I had to get devoted. You got to get devoted. I want to share with you a story. You see, I started building the business, and after I broke through, and I started to realize, and I started to unleash, and I started to lean into who I was and not who I wasn't, I started to go like this. And you go from literally making nothing, coming from nothing, and making 7 figures at the age of 26. And it's all great, and I was great. And they're like, hey, we want you to come speak at the MGM in Vegas, 10,000 people, no big deal. Tony Robbins is going to be there. Like, so we want you to speak and him to speak. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like 26. I'm like, what, right? Who knows who TR is? Anybody know who Tony, like, yeah. And so I'm like, great, I will crush it. So I go on and I train on social media and I train on attraction marketing. And I'm like, thinking I'm all great and all this stuff, okay? And then I go sit in the crowd. And he's getting ready to come in to do a 3-hour keynote. And I don't know what's going on with the hair and the lipstick, but don't judge. Okay, so I get done and I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so good. And I'm sitting there and he's doing his thing and he's walking around and he was like, what have you screwed up on in your life? What's something you just screwed up on it? And to be really honest with you, I was sitting there and I was like, everything is a lesson, man. I don't really count it as screwing up. But for some odd reason, he comes up to me, like me sitting there, and he goes, you stand up. No. And I was like, me? No, I was already up there. I don't need to get up right now. And he's like, stand up. And they're like, can we get a mic runner? And I'm like, no, God, oh my God, I don't need the mic. What is going on right now? And he hands me the mic and he goes, what is something you screwed up on? And I wasn't consciously thinking and it came from here. And I was like, my relationship with my dad. And I'm in front of 10,000 of my peers. And I was like, can we reel this in like a big fish? And I'm like, can we just get it back? Shit. I literally was like, no. I'm like, is this on the Jumbotron? Is this live streaming? Oh my God. And he's like, tell me more. And he starts doing the thing. And we went at it for about an hour. And we went at it. And he said, why? And I started to share with him my story. And I said, when I was a little girl, I was an accident. And we had another brother who passed away under my father's watch. And my parents were trying to work it out. They couldn't work it out. And my mom's water broke. And he said, I'll bring you to the hospital. They're kind of back and forth, like not really together. And he said, I'm ready for Matthew to be born. And it was at the time where they didn't know if it was a boy or girl. And so when I was born, I came out a girl. Surprise! And he left my mom. So what happened was, because my mom was angry, going through it all, she told me this as a young child, which you should never do, by the way. But I carried this with me. And, Tony really helped me understand. He's like, do you think you'd be the leader you are? Do you think you would be so disciplined and you get it done? Like, listen, all this happened for good reason. And he goes, you have expectations of how a father should be. You have expectations. And you put that on him. And you got to trade that expectation for appreciation, because I guarantee you would not be on that stage right now if things were different. And I said, thank you. You set me free. And I went and called my dad, and, we're good now. We're not close, but we're good. And why do I share this with you? Because this hindered me from committing to a man in my romantic relationship. This hindered me from certain things in my business. What happens to us when we're young hinders us if we don't deal with it, if we don't heal. And so I started to really do a lot of deep work on healing and what does this look like? And I started to dig in because I'm like, I don't want to repeat this generational curse on my family of divorce and infidelity and just chaos. And I realized that what happens before we're 18 deeply affects us. And there's this thing called the ACE test. Has anyone ever heard of it? So the ACE test is adverse childhood experiences. And a doctor, Dr. Folletti out of San Diego, started researching people in an obesity clinic, why they keep losing weight but gaining it all back, and why these trends are happening and what they are. And how this came to be is he had a client who was 300 pounds. She had significant weight loss. She got down to like 160, came back, started gaining all the weight back, and he's like, let me dig into this with you for a minute. And so he ran through a series of questions, and he asked her, how old were you when you lost your virginity? He had said, how much did you weigh when you lost your virginity? And she said, sir, 40 pounds. And he's like, what? Oh, you were molested when you were a little girl. Oh my gosh, okay. And he noticed trends. And this is just obesity. This is just weight, but trends coming in all different ways. All different ways. From depression to so many strongholds that take over when things happen when we're young. And he went on this huge study. And he has found that people that have trauma when they're young, if they don't heal from it, This is why we see the suicide rate. This is why we see people living the way they are. And so what I'd love to do with you right here, right now, and why we're in the space, is I want to take this ACE test with you, if you'd be so bold. Would you be open to that? All right, I need my little, yeah, hi. All right, okay. All right, so how that's my fiance. Give it up for Jake. Yeah. All right, so this is really simple. All the tests I do are simple, don't worry. Okay, so what we're going to do here is if you answer yes to the question, you just do a number 1. If it's nothing, 0. You got that? You got that? Yes. Okay, are you guys all in? Yes. Okay, all right. This is before your 18th birthday. Did a parent or other adult in the household often or very often swear at you, insult you, put you down, or humiliate you, or act in a way that made you afraid that you might be physically hurt? So it's either a 1 or a 0. Number 2, did a parent or other adult in the household often or very often push, grab, slap, or throw something at you, or ever hit you so hard that you had marks or were injured? Number 3, did an adult or person at least 5 years or older than you ever touch, fondle you, or have you touch their body in a sexual way, or attempt or actually have oral, anal, or vaginal intercourse with you? Again, 1 or 0. Number 4, did you often or very often feel that no one in your family loved you or thought you were important or special, or your family didn't look out for each other, feel close to each other, or support each other? Number 5, did you often or very often feel that you didn't have enough to eat, had to wear dirty clothes, and had no one to protect you, or your parents were too drunk or high to take care of you, or even take you to the doctor if you needed? Halfway there, you guys are doing so good. Number 6, were your parents ever separated or divorced? Number 7, was your mother or stepmother often or very often pushed, grabbed, slapped, or had something thrown at her, or sometimes often or very often kicked, bitten, hit with a fist, or hit with something hard, or ever repeatedly hit over at least a few times or threatened with a gun or a knife? That's a heavy one. All right. Number 8, did you live with anyone that was a problem drinker or alcoholic or used street drugs? Number 9, was a household member depressed or mentally ill, or did a household member attempt suicide? And last, did a household member go to prison? How you guys doing? I know, that's a lot. So what I'd love for you to do is add up your score. Add it all up. And this is a safe place. You came here to grow. That's why you're here. Can my 1s or higher please stand? Look around. Look around, guys. Look around. A lot of us have been through some stuff. Can my 4s or higher stay standing? The rest sit down. Look around. This is quite a bit. This is quite a bit. Look around. I'm proud of you. You're here. You're growing. You're building. You're breaking through, aren't you? Yes? You're breaking through? This is huge. You see, I'm a 7. Yes, give it up. Yes. 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 Give your brother or your sister next to you a high five, a hug if they're standing. Listen, I am proud of you. But the truth is, take a seat. The truth is, you're going to have to continue to dig a little deeper. You will. You do. And maybe this is the unlock that you needed to unlock. And why? Why is that? Because what's absent is typically awareness. And what we're not aware of, we cannot heal. So we're going to cut other people if we don't heal. Was there any zeros? Yeah, I love, God bless you. And yeah, and I say this because I was speaking at an investing conference, and this man came up to me and he was like, Emily, I'm like, what's up? I'm thinking, are you a 10? Like, and he's like, I was a 0. And I'm like, bro, that's great. And he's like, maybe that's why I don't have a lot of resilience. And I was like, and I looked down and I saw a wedding ring on his hand. I said, you're married? He goes, yeah. And I go, what about your wife? And she goes, oh, she would have been like off the Richter scale on that thing. And I said, don't you feel like God put you in her life to help her heal and show her and your family what a healthy life and marriage is and to break a curse? And he's like, yes. Yeah. So I tell my zeros this because you're called in a different way. So why did I have you do this? To be aware, to also understand that you are not alone, and you maybe have been in accusation, you maybe have been living in shame, you maybe have been letting this take hold of you, steal your joy. This is showing up and manifesting in different ways. But most importantly, why I just did that is to help you break through and to find real freedom that you deserve. You deserve. So if you'd be so bold, if you would be so bold, if you're like, I'm looking level 10, unlock, let's go, come on, game on, then I need you to play with me at 100% right now. 100. I mean, it's 100 degrees in here, but 100%. Okay? And what we're going to do, if you trust me, I'm going to walk you through an exercise. And I don't care who's next to you. I don't care what you're thinking about. You owe it to yourself for the next 3 minutes to honor yourself and to go here with me. And I'm going to take you through an exercise. And I want you to imagine, once we start this, that it's just you in this room, and I'm going to guide you through it. And for those of you that decide to play full out, this could be the day that you say, enough is enough. I'm not going to let this take hold of me any longer. You guys ready? Okay, so I want you to stand up, put your stuff down, give yourself some space. And what I want you to do is I want you to lock in. What's the word? Lock in. Yeah. Lock in with me. And I want you to imagine that there is a spotlight, and it's only on you right now. And close your eyes. Just get loosey-goosey. Close your eyes. Okay, lock it in. It's on you. This spotlight is on you. Take a deep breath. It's just you right now. It's it. It's just you. And you look forward and you see into the distance with your eyes closed. You see a life that you want. You see a home that you want. What is that for you? What does that home look like? What does it feel like? You see a family that you want. You see a business that you want. You imagine peace, waking up on your terms. You broke through. You see it all. How does it feel? What does it look like? What does it taste like? Even feel it? You can see it so far ahead, and you're like, that is it. That is the promised land. That is where I'm going. Better yet, look at the man that's in that body. Look at who he is. Look at how he is transformed. That is a man to be proud of. That is a man to lead. That's a woman who's a queen, that she has stepped in. She knows who she is. That is the ultimate. And that fades away. It's faded. It's faded. It's just you now. The spotlight is just on you. We're back. And suddenly, the spotlight goes to the left. And you're looking to the left, and it's your family. It's your little girl looking at you. It's your son. It's your parents. It's those that you love. They're looking at you. They're staring up at you, and they're so proud of the person you are. What does that feel like when they look up at you with those little eyes? What does it feel like to be a noble man or woman of character? What does it feel like to just be so respected and loved and admired? What does it feel like when you did it, man? You did it. You're the reason they get to go to Disneyland. You're the reason that they get to live this life. You're the example. And the spotlight fades away and it comes back, and it's just you again. And you look to the right, and it's your team. It's your business partners. It's people you get to employ and bless their life. It's people you get to service. You see them. People are trusting you because they literally partnered with you, and they pay every month. You bless their life. You save them from a lot of BS. You're a leader in your community. The light fades, and it's just you. It's just you now. And suddenly you feel this heat. It's really hot, and it's coming on your back. And it starts to pull you back a little bit. You feel the heat, and it's on fire. And it's behind you, and what it is your past. It's that mistake you made that you have not forgiven yourself for, that you replay over and over again. It's the discount story you keep telling yourself that you're not the guy, you're not the girl. Good for them, but it's not me. I'm not equipped. I'm not good enough. It's all the drama and trauma, and it's pulling you back, and you can feel it. And it's a downward spiral from there. If you stay there, I don't know what's going to happen to your marriage. I don't know what's going to happen for your life. The deathbed is not going to be a joyous story for you. What does it feel like to stay in hell? What does it feel like to keep telling yourself these things that are not true? What does it feel like to stay small? Suddenly that light is burning. It's burning so bad. And you feel this rubber band. You look down, and there's this rubber band that is around your waist. And this rubber band wants to pull you and keep you stuck. It wants to keep you in the pit of despair. And there's this rubber band, and you feel it, and you feel it, and you feel it, and it's pulling you back, and keep your eyes closed. And this, my friends, is called a choice. This is a choice. I'm going to give you a choice. I'm going to count to 3. And you can physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you can make a decision to step through and break the rubber band, or you can let it pull you back to the pit of despair. If you decide to step forward, I want you to freaking scream. I want you to blow Dallas's mind at this point, and I want you to break through. and I want you to play at 100 if you're ready. When I count to 3, break through and unleash. 1, it's getting tight. It's pulling you back. Is it my moment? Is it my time? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure I'm ready. I'm not so sure I'm ready for the good life. I'm not so sure I'm ready for the peace. 2, it's getting tighter. It's getting tighter around your waist. It's either forward or backwards. You cannot do the same simultaneously. You cannot do the same simultaneously. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? On the count of 3, let's go. Step forward and make your mark. 3! Let's go! Yeah! Feel that! Yeah! Feel it! Let's go! Let's go! Feel it! Feel it! Feel it! Yeah! Feel it! Come on! Unleash! Let's go! Let's go! You feel me? Let's go! You're a champion! This is you! This is the real you! This is the real you! Let's go!
Be believers, be leaders.
Let's be believers.
Astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers.
Let's
Be
go!
students, be
This
teachers.
is you! This
Politicians,
is
be
the real you!
preachers.
Step into this every day. And remember, this is you in your it factor. Thank you so much. Mwah! I love you. God bless. Mwah! Love you guys.